I saw you say you shed a thug tear when Jeezy and Gucci, the squash they beef.
Was that not emotional? That was an
Oh yeah, nah,
emotional
that
moment.
was a moment. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too,
Before
man.
we get started, I gotta give you your garden. I gotta give you the
Oh,
proper introduction. So,
please go ahead, give it all to me.
the legendary Radio Hall of Fame inductee, media personality, journalist, all legendary, and Grammy nominated artist.
Oh,
'Cause this ladies' night.
all right, all
And
right, all right.
Miss Angie Martinez is in the building.
Yes, sir. What's up, Jiggy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm, COVID free still. Manage.
Exactly. Thank God. God is good. God is good.
No,
So this new partnership with Manzanita Soul.
you said that very well. Very
You know,
well.
I had a great Spanish teachers in high school, so that followed me throughout.
I
So
did not.
talk about the partnership as well as its significance, especially at this moment.
Yeah, the partnership is a perfect one for me because so Montenegro Soul is launching now in New York. So they reached out to me because they were really trying to do a really fun, cool New York campaign where they also would support small businesses. So they are supporting these food trucks because the food trucks have had a hard time during the pandemic.
Mhm.
So they're supporting these food trucks, and they have four of them that this weekend they're giving away free food and free Montenegro Soul to support them. And also, all the trucks are getting a $10,000 grant. So it's kind of like a welcome to New York party for Montanita Soul
Wow.
combined with a way to kind of give back to small, Hispanic and Black owned businesses in the form of these food trucks. And I'm a food truck
Yeah.
fan. I enjoy a good food truck.
Likewise.
So I was happy to get on board. It's a dope campaign.
And so this is available to all New Yorkers. Any New Yorker can pull up to the food
Yeah,
truck and
you could pull
oh,
up to the truck. I mean, while supplies last, if you come with your whole entire neighborhood, it's
yeah,
gonna probably run out at some point.
okay,
But yeah, this weekend, free food and free Montanita Soul. That's this weekend, and then the drinks will be out, in the bodegas and the local stores.
got it. And do you have? I know there's four food trucks participating.
Hmm.
Do you have a particular favorite or one that you can point somebody to?
Not all of them. The other
Okay.
day I did a shoot with the Island Spice Grill, which is one of the
Hmm.
trucks, which is Jamaican food. I love Jamaican food.
Okay.
And so I had he was like, "What do you want?" He pulled the menu down. I was like, "I'll have one of everything on the menu." He gave me one of everything. I had jerk chicken.
Okay.
I had brown stew chicken. I had rice, macaroni, lobster mac and cheese. I mean,
Oh,
it was a
my
plate.
favorite.
No, it was a real plate. And fried shrimp. I mean, he gave me like this whole
Oh,
thing, and then we had it mixed with the drinks. But it's good. But it was good because all of the trucks are like either Black or Hispanic culture. A lot of Caribbean flavors.
now as far as the food, I know you say you love Jamaican food. With your ethnicity and background, do you also cook Jamaican food or
I try sometimes. My Jamaican food game is not that strong. I usually
okay?
order or get from the restaurant. There's like three really good Jamaican restaurants in my neighborhood. And then
Hmm.
also I have a friend whose husband is a chef, a Jamaican
Oh, okay.
chef.
So that's all the time you over there then.
He used to be a chef at one of the resorts in Jamaica, so
Mm,
he's about that business. So
okay.
whenever I really want some good Jamaican food, I just call him and he comes over and we all eat here, or I'll go pick up a plate from their house. But no, I'm not that good at the Jamaican food in the crib. I have to do that. So Latin food I'm better at, but
Okay.
lately I don't know. I cooked so much early pandemic, I have
Hmm.
not felt like cooking at
Kind of
all.
burnt you out.
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm like, no, what are we ordering? So I order a lot. The food truck is good. That's why I love a food truck.
Exactly.
Nice, good homemade food, and I don't have to, be in the kitchen for an hour and a half.
Well, it definitely sounds like one a great partnership and the grant to give New Yorkers free food. Like you said, while supplies last, so make sure if you're in New York this weekend,
Yeah,
make
Popeye.
sure you head over to the food trucks and get your grub on. Um,
Word.
I definitely want to say congratulations. I know you are one of many New Yorkers to have your voiceover on the MTA subway.
Isn't that cool? I love
That's
that.
that's amazing. The first person I saw was Jadakiss,
Yeah,
and
I'm
you
cool.
know
It's a
his voice is
perfect voice.
unique. And now your voice, along I think it's Deez Mero, Jerry Seinfeld, a host of
Yeah,
others. So how
Jerry
did that feel?
Yeah, it's dope. I mean, I love anything that is like I don't know, that old school New York feeling, like
Hmm.
really authentic New York. So when they told me about the project, I was this, New York Nico, he did it. Um, I was totally down. I thought that was dope. I mean, it's definitely I'm in good company on that one. When you hear Jadakiss on the train, I mean, that's just I mean, come on.
That's an entertaining ride.
That's pretty good. If you're having a bad day and you're sitting on a train and you hear one of us say something crazy on one of the train, announcements, hopefully, they'll give you brighten your day a little bit for half a second.
No, definitely. I can't. I'm from North. I'm from Jersey, so like since pandemic, I haven't ridden the train to the city, but once
Well,
things kind of open up a little bit.
yeah, you'll hear them. They're there. So the announcements, they're like there to remind people to, social distance and be
Gotcha.
safe, be courteous, and all that kind of stuff. Because we get back to life and we forget quick.
Exactly. Still stay maxed up and
For
make sure
sure.
you protect yourself.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure.
And we hip hop is mourning the loss of DMX. You've been being in the game for so long. Him starting his career early on in the '90s. What is your favorite memory of X?
Oh my gosh, I have so many.
Hmm.
X, and I say this about him, and I was thinking about him a lot this weekend, obviously, like everybody else was. And every time I was around X, and I've been around him a lot of times, and he'd be on my show a bunch of times, and I don't know, he wasn't like a famous person. I mean, he was super famous and super loved, but he carried himself just like a good guy. Like I would say this, he talked to everybody. He talked to
Hmm.
the important people at the station, the PDs and all that, and talk to
Hmm.
us. But he'd stop and have a full conversation with the receptionist and the people in the mailroom. And
Yeah.
like he just had energy for everyone, which is hard to do when you're
Mhm.
that famous and everybody wants a piece of you. But he gave that back. Like he had energy for everybody. He didn't care who you are, where you were, what your circumstances were,
Hmm.
what you look like. Like he was just a walking bundle of like love for
Yeah.
people because that takes love. Energy is
Exactly.
like our greatest resource. And when
Exactly.
you're walking around and you're somebody that people are drawn to, sometimes that could wear you out if
Hmm.
everybody's trying to take a piece of your energy.
Hmm.
And so to me, I was always fascinated how he, and I pay attention to that too because I'm mindful of energy and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
I was always amazed at how he was able to do that for everyone.
Exactly.
Give people time, energy, pay attention. Like, you know what I mean? He just was
Yeah.
dope like that. And so that's one of the things I love most about him. And just that, he was obviously he had demons and struggles through his life
Mhm. Like we all
and
do.
the fact that he was still able to touch so many people and use his truth and use his reality
Exactly.
and connect with people was really what a legacy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all the social media tributes and posts over the weekend is just a testament to what you just said. I mean, um, yeah, like you said, he kind of spoke to and resonated with everyone. You see them on the street. I saw one post. A woman said, they were out. I think either in Philly or New York, and they just pulled up and like DMX just hop out the car, and they're like, "Whoa, DMX!" And he just took pictures with them and hugged them, and then he just went about his business. It's
Yeah,
like,
no,
wow.
I got tons of the day he passed. We were on the radio taking calls, and I got tons of calls from people like, "Oh, I
Mm.
met him here. I was in the kitchen working in the restaurant, and he was in here." Like just everywhere. We went. I have actually a memory that I didn't talk about and I
Mhm.
hadn't shared, but he used to do my show a lot. So
Mhm.
he it was early in his career, and I think he was overwhelmed. I think he had been on the tour, he'd been traveling, been doing press. I think he
Mhm.
was tired, and he came to the show and he was having a very emotional day and he kind of let it out. We weren't on the air yet. We were like about to go on the air and he
Mhm.
got worked up to tears, explaining to me how tired he was and how hard this is for him. And
Mhm.
so we had this like really personal moment. And I was like, you know what? I don't think you should be on the air today. I think you need a minute. Like it's
Mhm.
okay. You can come back another day. We don't have to do
Yeah.
this today. And so
Mhm.
we wind up not doing the show. And then he told me he was hungry. So I was like, I was worried about him.
Mhm. Mhm.
This was early in me getting to know him a little bit. So I was worried about him. I was like, what are you going to do now? Are you okay? And he said he was hungry. So we went to go eat on, on 34th Street, that TGIF
Yeah,
Friday
yeah, right. Yep.
by
Yeah.
Macy's, upstairs, a little,
Yeah. Yeah. Little sketchy.
but it's the best way he wanted to
Yeah,
go. He wanted to
exactly.
go there. So we went and we sat at the bar and we ordered some food and we had a drink and we just were talking like about life and stuff. And I just remember like he was so real and so vulnerable, but then also, the lady who was serving,
Mhm.
the
A
waitress
little
behind the bar,
starstruck.
bartender,
Mhm.
he just had energy and attention for everybody, even though that day he had been going through his own thing.
Hmm.
I watched him be like still giving to people, even in
Wow.
that moment. And so I always think of that day. Every time I pass 34th Street and I pass that restaurant, I always think of X
Definitely.
because we had
Yeah.
that moment in there.
Wow.
I think that's a testament to who he is and was, and
No,
he's
that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And he him and Snoop did the verses early in the summer. I call it verses one
love
of
that.
the pandemic gems.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
what were some of your favorite, or if you can pinpoint one favorite verses that you because most of the people that participated, you've interviewed them, you have relationships with them, you've seen them blossom, grow their careers from infancy to being legends. So what were either some of your favorite verses, or can you pinpoint one?
Man, it's really hard to say because there were a lot of good ones. I even love this Earth, Wind and Fire on
Yeah.
Easter, and the Isley Brothers that you could watch
Yep.
with the whole family was super dope.
Hmm.
Um, but first of all, DMX and Snoop Dogg, you mentioned that one, but like to me, aside from X and how great he was, Snoop Dogg is one of those giants that we do not talk about enough, and
Hmm.
he's still here. And I I know he knows
Going
he's
strong.
loved, and I know people say it, but he really is just like a national treasure. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
every time he's on a show, every time he's involved with something, he's gonna show up, he's gonna deliver, he's
Hmm.
funny, he's a G, he got songs for
Yeah,
decades.
exactly.
And so
Crazy
anytime
catalog.
Snoop is involved in anything, I'm here for it. Like I want to see. I want to see what Snoop's gonna say. I'm gonna enjoy it. He's gonna put a smile on my face 100%.
Hmm.
So to me, yeah, so that was definitely the DMX Snoop Dogg was definitely one of the great ones. I loved Erica and Jill also.
Hmm. Yeah,
Honestly,
that
I've
was a good
watched
one.
everyone. I don't know if you see me. I be in the comments. I'm on
Yeah,
every
yeah, you be going in the
every
comments.
versus. I very rarely miss a versus.
I saw you say you shed a thug tear when Jeezy and Gucci, the squash they beef.
Was that not emotional? That was an
Oh yeah, not
emotional
that
moment.
was a moment because I remember I got on Clubhouse and 21 Savage was talking about it. He's like, yo, like being from Atlanta, if you from Zone 6 and from somewhere else in Atlanta, like we had beef because they had beef, and it was just
Yeah.
crazy to see like
It
people
was
come
a
back.
magical moment to see that. And I was worried because we were watching it in real time
Yeah,
and it could have gone anyway live on, IG. And
exactly. Millions
it
of
could
people
have went
watching.
anyway. And I was so proud of both of them. I felt like proud of the culture. It just
Hmm.
was like this great cultural feel good moment. And man, I know Jeezy way better than I know Gucci,
Hmm.
but I was so proud of Jeezy. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I just felt like it could have went anyway, and I just
exactly.
felt so proud of the culture in that moment that they were able to like make that portray that representation and show
Exactly.
people, because it's like teaching people how to
Yep.
squash beef and how to be bigger than your ego or whatever
Hmm.
it is. And so that was amazing.
Now they just got a partnership with Triller. So when the news broke, a lot of people, had some type of like criticism. But of course they didn't read they only read the headline. They didn't do their own research and go into the story. But just what are your thoughts of just like one, their partnership and the benefits that it
I
has
think
for,
we
for
all
other
I
artists?
think I think we all have to be careful of forming our opinions based on the loud people on social media, because it really
Mhm.
stunts our growth sometimes. Sometimes people are afraid of
Very
things
true.
because of what social media is going to say. And I feel like, they created this great entity out of nothing, out of an idea.
Yeah,
And they created this entertainment for us. Let them rock. Let them figure out what's the next
exactly.
phase of it, and let's just support them. And why be so quick to raise people up and pull them down, even if sometimes you might even disagree? It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay to disagree.
Let this play out. Let's see where it goes. Let's give them the respect and the the room to be able to develop. And I don't really know I don't know what the
Mhm.
deal is, what the
Yeah,
long-term effects are, what the long-term business of it is, but I respect them. I appreciate them. If this is what they feel like is the best move for their brand, then I support that.
I did want to know two things. New season. I know the pandemic right now, so we probably stopped production. But new season of Hip Hop Untold, as well as if I Can Go, will ever make it to streaming services. That's my joint. I was
I
9 years
don't
old when
know.
that came out.
I don't. I'm not sure what's gonna happen with Untold yet, but I will tell you, I don't know why the songs are not on streaming. I really, it's like on my to-do list to figure out why that's not. Because I do in my Twitter page, it's like very often, like somebody will be like, "Why is this not here?"
Hmm.
And for a long time, I just was like, I don't know. I never really thought about it, but I guess I should get to the bottom of why that's not. Why do you think that's not there? You're a journalist. What do you?
I mean, my thing is licensing, you know, from whoever owns the song, unless you own it, you
I
know,
don't know. I don't know
the
what that is
publishing.
about. I have to figure. I'm not holding it hostage or anything, so I don't know why. But I definitely want to get to the bottom of that.
Yeah,
You're
so
you're,
whoever
you're
owns the rights, we definitely need that because I need
yeah.
that inside
If you can
info.
figure it out, then you hit me, and then we'll together we'll work and get this thing on the.
Miss
Okay,
Angie,
definitely stay in
definitely
touch.
a pleasure speaking with you.
Nice
Um,
to meet you.
I know you said, you know, one of your quotes you said, show up and do today, deliver for today, and move forward. So I would love to ask, did I deliver today so I can
You did amazing.